All right, so what was your favorite part about Mexico?
Mexico. Oh my gosh, that's right. I was in Mexico. I totally forgot about it. My favorite part was not getting sunburnt, Kevin.
That doesn't speak well to Mexico.
It was something I was very concerned about.
Yeah.
It's hot. The sun's out, and I burn very easily, and I reapplied sunblock like every hour.
Okay.
The sun was out.
Were the people nice?
Absolutely.
Was the food nice?
The food was fantastic.
Okay.
That's kind of my takeaway. I was very concerned. I get burned very easily.
You turned into a prune when we went to France for the Conquest episode. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Yeah, I went right from France to Mexico. It was an exciting week. Yeah, I don't know. When you get burnt really badly, it like ruins your week.
Sure.
So it was very important for me to not get burnt in Mexico.
Anytime I get to record Trailer Hitch with you, James, it's like a vacation for me.
So it's like I get to take a bi-weekly
vacation.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Aww.
All right, let's do this shit.
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Grab a seat, pour yourselves a whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're Trailer Hitch. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're Trailer Hitch.
Did you pick up any Spanish while you were down there?
Uno or dos things. One or two things. No.
I'm sorry. No hable.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, really, one or two things. No, honestly, okay. I didn't. I know hola, I know gracias.
Sure.
And adios.
Okay, yeah, the big ones.
Yeah,
anyway,
welcome
to Trailer
Welcome
Hitch.
to Trailer. Yeah, so let's talk about this podcast
Right.
here.
I'm Kevin.
I'm James.
We are a trailer review podcast. We take a look at trailers. We rate and review them on a scale of need to see more, or never need to see. If James and I both give something a need to see rating, we celebrate first act, we go, we see that movie, then report back to you guys in a segment called Trailer in the Rear View, in which we look at the trailer in retrospect and see how it holds up and review the movie writ large.
That's right, and from time to time we've been known to review other countries. Mexico, 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
So there you go.
A need to see for Mexico.
A need to see, yeah.
Glad to hear.
Yeah, glad I saw it.
Glad I saw it. But we are not talking about other countries right now. We are talking about trailers.
Yes.
And tonight we got quite a few pretty interesting trailers.
Got some catch up to do.
Yes.
There's some spanning from a while back until something that just came out today.
So spanning back a little while back, we have BlacKkKlansman, especially apt for our lead-in because it's set in the 70s. Next we have that's the takeaway from BlacKkKlansman.
It's set in the 70s. Piece. It's a period piece. If you take away anything from it, it's that.
After that we have the Happytime Murders, which is not set in the 70s.
No, it's set in probably the near distant future where Muppets and people coexist happily
in an optimal world.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
After that, we are going to be talking about A Simple Favor. We took that into the showroom a few episodes back. We now have a full trailer, which we will be talking about and reviewing. And then finally, we are capping this off with a little after-dinner mint, or should I say, a peppermint.
That was very good. I don't like peppermints or after-dinner mints very much, but...
let's hope the trailer fares better.
That's a good point, yeah.
All right, so we're going to dive right into it, folks. We're going to launch into Spike Lee's newest joint.
I totally forgot it's a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah. This is BlacKkKlansman.
The KKK is planning an attack.
How do you propose to make this investigation?
We'll establish contact over the phone. We'll need a white officer to play me when they meet face to face.
You for the white race, Ron?
Oh, hell yeah.
So there becomes a combined Ron Stalwart.
Can you do that?
With the right white man, we can do anything.
When's the last time they let a rookie lead an investigation? Oh, that's right. Never.
Okay, become his friend. Let's get invited back.
So what kind of stuff you guys do?
Cross burnings, marches. This is fixing to be a big year for us.
You ask too many questions. You undercover or something?
This is America. Oh, wait, no, sorry. No. This is BlacKkKlansman. This is directed by Spike Lee. This is starring John David Washington, Adam Driver, Topher Grace, Laura Harrier. Our random shout out is going to go to Michael Eric, who plays the protester. Good job, bud. You're in a movie.
Hey, yay, Michael, protester.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And something else I just wanted to throw in, this was actually included in the Cannes Film Festival. And James and I saw the trailer and decided that there was so much that we wanted to talk about with this that we didn't want to abridge it in the Conquest segment and devote an entire full review to it.
So we were aware of it.
Yeah.
For our last episode,
Yeah.
eagle-eared listeners know, our last episode was the Conquest episode.
I'll definitely bring it up in context of that episode toward the end of this review, but first we should get into what BlacKkKlansman is. So
Let's do it.
We start off in Colorado, is where the film is set. This is set in the 70s. The police brigade there bring in a new recruit who happens to be a black man. And they make it a point to tell him it'll be really nice to have a black guy on staff. So it's his first day.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, just because, you're basically representing your entire race, because that's fair. So his first day, he adjusts his fro, walks right into the police station. First thing he does is he calls the head of the KKK, David Duke, and just starts to say all manners of racist things, all of the people he hates that aren't quote-unquote pure white Aryan.
Right, yeah. In his best sorry to bother you voice.
Absolutely. Good reference. And the other people in the police station, there's a great comic moment where Adam Driver just slowly is turning in his chair as he's spouting all of this horrible shit. And this black officer effectively buys the trust of David Duke over the phone. What this leads into is effectively a sting operation for the KKK. They're going to be trying to take them down. And Adam Driver plays a white officer who impersonates the person who the black officer is claiming to be in person.
Right,
So
yeah.
the black officer is really the one pulling the strings, and then we have the white officer who is effectively the stand-in or double for him for all the face-to-face interactions. Otherwise, throughout the trailer, we get some really great thematic content too. Adam Driver flat out says, like, this really isn't a crusade for me. This is just kind of like a job.
Yeah.
And the black officer brings up, dude, you're Jewish. Like, you have skin in this game too. And I think it's a really great piece to show it doesn't matter if you aren't black. This sort of ideology is terrible for everyone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any race for that matter. And these are the bad guys.
So, it definitely starts... It seems like their relationship gets a little bit of a rocky start.
Yeah.
But, like, I think there are cues in the trailer that imply their partnership starts to get solid footing.
Absolutely.
And I think that might be really exciting to see happen.
And it's interesting because usually with cop films, it's more of a contentious relationship between the two partners. And really, it's interesting that the contention in the relationship is rooted in apathy. It's not rooted in, I don't stand for what you're doing, bud. It's more just, yeah, okay, I guess we'll do this.
Yeah.
And the black cop is like, you should be, like, way more into this. Like, this is a pretty big deal.
I think that's very interesting to make apathy, like, the big thing to focus on as a negative thing that we need to address every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, you're right. A lot of films are just more focused on the bombastic stuff of personality traits and stuff like that. Or, the loud voices saying blah, 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 and the other loud voices saying, no, this blah, 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 To have apathy
Obviously,
as, like...
most cop films aren't that well written. A lot of blah, blah, blah happens.
There's a lot of blah, blah, blah.
If they would just put in real words, it would make for a better movie.
Just like this movie. There's better words. I think better words than blah, blah, blah are happening here.
I would agree.
Yeah. I think you summed it up, like, really perfectly, especially the Adam Driver apathetic aspect.
Yeah. And we also get a glimpse into the Black Power movement through this film and the idea of all power to all people. And the thing that I found sort of interesting about the trailer, and I didn't really know how to read it right away, was they were directly juxtaposing the Black Power movement saying all power to all people with the Klan saying white power. And I don't think it's meant to say, like, look at how similar these movements are. I think it's more just, like, directly showing the starkness of the ideology of we want everyone to feel equal and safe versus we only want a very small percentage of people to be in power.
I'll go one step further, and I thought it was strange as well, but I think this part you're thinking of in the trailer, they actually say white power / black power. So it's not power to all people. Yeah, so it is the activists saying black power, and then it smash cuts to the Klansmen saying white power.
Yeah.
So you're right, though. That is so strange to put those two things up against each other in the trailer, like you're comparing them.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand the point of that.
And I don't think it is a comparison. I think it might...
But it plays that way, though.
Yeah, if we are directly doing black power v. white power, I think it is literally more just versus, like black power versus white power.
Yeah.
But I do agree that directly putting them together, and I also felt like the framing was pretty similar between them.
It's definitely intended.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's a direct juxtaposition.
Yeah.
That was a little muddy for me. Otherwise, huge fan of this trailer.
Maybe like possibly it's supposed to be from the Klansmen's perspective and they're seeing this as a threat. That's why it's framed and edited that way.
Maybe.
But
Yeah,
it's so
and
weird
I mean,
in a trailer, I think.
I know that it's a strange thing to say, but in trailers, sometimes we're missing context. And perhaps the context will be a bit more fleshed out in a full 90-minute film. Who knows? But no, otherwise, I'm really, really into this trailer. I love the style of it. And clearly, Spike Lee is embracing the style of 70s cinema to bring across the setting. And I think he is definitely hearkening to blaxploitation films.
Yeah.
And kind of making a 2018 blaxploitation film. And as a fan of genre cinema and a fan of blaxploitation films, fuck yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And giving Spike Lee that energy, I think, really helps. Because I really like Do the Right Thing because there is so much style and energy in his direction. And I think when he has that back, like that thing backing his viewpoint, like that sort of style and grit, I'm usually a sucker for his movies. And this definitely looks like it is hitting that style really hard. And
I like the style in it a lot, too.
Yeah. I think the comedy in it is really biting and really satirical. And I think most of it's landing for me. Overall, I'm really vibing with this.
Yeah, I did really like this one a lot. I love the cast. The main character, who I'm not familiar with his name again.
Sure. John David Washington's
John David Washington. I watched the trailer. I'm like, I know this guy from something. And what I know him from is Ballers, which is the HBO football show with Dwayne Johnson. I watched the first season, and it kind of is not interesting anymore. But he was really good in it, though. Okay. And he's charismatic and entertaining, and he's good. He's a good actor in it. So I was excited to see him in this.
And yeah, he really does nail this really interesting charisma through this, where you can just see how he is totally fucking geeked with the fact that he is going to have this power as a police officer.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I know the first goddamn thing I'm going to do the second I walk in. And the adjustment of the afro.
But also individuality. Like,
yeah.
I'm not about to change who I am
just because
when I step foot here. Right.
Now I'm in, like, this different environment. Yeah. Which is really appealing and really interesting to watch.
You say a lot by just adjusting your fro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was really like it. I couldn't help but think of Sheriff Bart and Jim from Blazing Saddles, which is Gene Wilder's character, because they're clearly similar. That movie was from the 70s, obviously didn't take place in the 70s, and in a scene in the movie, they literally dress up like Ku Klux Klan members, both of them, to sneak past something. And I was just kind of staring at this trailer being like, Oh, boy, you forgot to wash up after your last cross burning.
Well, the first time I heard about this premise, there is a fairly famous Dave Chappelle show sketch where there is a guy who is a BlacKkLansman.
Yeah.
He's blind. And he just doesn't know that he's black.
Yeah.
And that's where my mind went immediately when I heard this premise. And was like, really? We're going to stretch that into an hour and a half? And then I saw this and went, I'm really glad they made this a movie.
Yeah,
This is obviously like...
It's not that.
It is not that. It's not quite as absurd as Chappelle's sketch.
We would have heard Dave Chappelle complaining about it if that were the thing.
He definitely will complain if you are too similar to his material. But yeah, overall, I'm completely smitten.
Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, definitely. What do you give it? What do you rate it? Need to see it? I'm also going to give it a need to see, Kevin. Cheers, man.
Double need to sees!
Double need to sees. August. We don't have to wait too long for that.
Good.
Exactly.
Oh, and here's what I was going to bring up in relation to our Conquest episode. I don't know if you remember what you gave your Palme d'Or and your Grand Prix to. Would this have placed for you if we included it in the Conquest Festival?
Yeah, it would have shifted everything down.
Yeah.
This would have taken my top spot.
So, in retrospect, and obviously we pushed the review of this trailer for the reasons of we wanted to really dissect it.
Yeah.
But for the purpose, I mean, like, I think we should give this an honorary Palme d'Or.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll gladly do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We are definitely giving BlacKkLansman a Palme d'Or, as well as a double need to see.
So we'll have to get a second Palme d'Or and then just give that right to BlacKkLansman.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Well, that was BlacKkLansman. That was a very happy time.
Was it?
But now we have to get into the Happytime Murders. So let's just dive right in.
No more happy times, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
50 cents, I'll suck your dick.
Well, it's a great price. It almost makes me wish I had a dick for you to suck.
Oh, I'll take that as a yes.
You two are the most decorated officers in this department. What do you see?
Looks like a robbery gone wrong to me.
This wasn't a robbery. This was a hit.
What the?
Someone out there is killing puppets.
Hey, handsome.
You looking for some rotten cotton? I'm a woman.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's even better.
Got a good time for you.
Do you like Kermit the Frog and the gang? Do you like raunchy fucking sex jokes? Then Happytime Murders might be for you, Kevin.
When you say Kermit and the gang, we are talking a literal gang, by the way. That's important to distinguish.
Absolutely.
All right, this is the Happytime Murders. This is directed by Brian Henson, who is the son of Jim Henson.
Attaboy, Brian.
Written by Todd Berger. This is starring Melissa McCarthy, Elizabeth Banks, Maya Rudolph, Joel McHale, Jimmy O. Yang, and our random shout-out, Julianne Busher, who plays Piddles. Julianne, good job! Your voice is in a movie, unless Piddles is a human character.
Maybe you're in the movie.
And then you're also physically in the movie.
Also, interesting name. Piddles.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds like a puppet. We'll find out.
Basically, the Story of Happytime Murders is this is a world in which puppets and humans coexist. Mm-hmm. But not necessarily peacefully. There is someone.
Just like every Muppet movie you might have ever seen.
Correct. There's someone going around and specifically targeting and murdering puppets. And a cop played by Melissa McCarthy is tasked with trying to solve the murders, to stop the crime. And she has a puppet as a partner, and he's a hard-nosed cop, and that's what we get. And there's a lot of sex jokes, is really the big thing to punch. And so, I mean, like, I guess I'll start. That first joke that cuts in, I actually really like. So my concern walking into this was, man, I really hope it's not going to just be, look, they're puppets and they're doing something racy.
Right.
Funny, right?
Right.
So initially it starts with a puppet offering to suck Melissa McCarthy's dick.
For 50 cents, Kevin.
For 50 cents.
Which is a great deal.
So immediately, my worst fear about this is realized right away. Like, this is just a, like, hey, isn't it funny that this puppet is making a joke? But what I ended up really liking about it was the delivery of the line is this really sing-songy sort of way. I'll suck your dick.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a puppet legit trying to solicit sex for money. And it worked for me. And Melissa McCarthy's reply of, oh, that's a really good price. I almost wish I had a dick for you to suck. Really works.
Well, I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, it's... so initially I'm like, oh, okay, I'm pretty won over by this. And then from then on, honestly, for me, a lot of the humor trailed off.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, a lot of it just feels like these are puppets who you normally associate with being cute and kid-friendly, now doing racy shit. Mm-hmm. So the snorting ecstasy scene, puppets in strip clubs. There's a second joke in the trailer where prostitutes try and solicit Melissa McCarthy. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like it's really doubling down on the racy humor. And ultimately, for me, I'm kind of wondering, but what else is there? Like, if this is your premise, that's cool, but what are we going to get at? And I'm not necessarily looking for, like, a big allegory on race or some shit.
Sure.
I'm just kind of looking for there to be a little bit more than just the joke that I get out the beginning. And so far with the rest of this trailer, it's not really giving me any more than what I got out of that first joke. What about you?
No, I think that's a really good assessment. I really found that first joke really funny.
Same.
That first puppet, again, has that like cartoony voice, which I thought made it really funny, along with the female prostitute puppets later.
Yeah.
But the like secondary character of her cop partner is like completely straight-laced voice, so just like a normal voice, not like a puppet voice or a cartoony voice. I didn't really laugh at anything he had to say, except one thing, which was like one of the only non-sex jokes that I laughed at, which Joel McHale says he's from the FBI, and the guy just says, "What does that stand for? Fucking big idiot." And Melissa McCarthy just gives this juvenile laugh, like, and I couldn't help myself. I thought that was really funny.
Sure.
So I thought the ecstasy scene, Melissa McCarthy snorts ecstasy through a Twizzler licorice. I thought the visual of that was really weird and funny. And then the guy's delivery of, "Gee, I'm real sorry your human friend's dead." Like, I laughed at that. So I got the humor out of it.
Sure.
A little bit more than you, but
yeah,
on the same page, I agree with you that I hope it's more than just raunchy sex comedy.
Yeah.
Because by
There's
the time...
a really extended jizz joke.
Exactly. By the time we got to the end of this trailer, which I will set it up for you guys, I want to paint a picture for you guys for this lovely scene. The humans come to the office of one of the police officers, but he's servicing a client, Kevin. Mm-hmm. He's inexposed.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Fucking
a client.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's... I don't know. Do you have a client if you're a detective? Not really, right?
I mean, do we even know if this partner is legit?
True. He's a private eye, maybe. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, so he's fucking this client, and he arrives at completion, and
I like how you initially said comes, and then you just found a way to say it but longer.
Look, yeah, I just want to class it up, Kevin. That's
I'm glad.
all I do.
Yeah. We're PC as fuck here. Let's keep it classy.
And they just want to show you the goods, aka the jizz of
it's silly string.
It's silly string.
Yeah.
So they can get away with it. It's a puppet. It's silly string, and it gets everywhere. And it's not really funny.
And it's especially because it lasts for an extended period of time.
And
which is the joke.
Like, I feel like the shorter the joke would have been, it would have been better, but maybe you wouldn't have been able to tell it was silly string, and silly string is part of the joke, I think. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, even if it was just like a quick splat of silly string at the door, and you just see Maya Rudolph bringing out the
Windex,
yeah. I feel like that would have been enough for me to be like, okay, yeah, that's the joke.
I just really like how we're dissecting this jizz joke, Kevin.
That's what we're here for, man. This is a trailer podcast. We talk about the content
That's right.
of the trailer.
It's in the trailer. We talk about it.
It just so happens tonight we talk about jizz.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm saying is I agree with you. I think if there's an overabundance of raunchy sex humor in it, that's going to get real old real fast.
Yeah, and I guess it's just going for raunchy comedy because there really isn't that much action in the trailer at all. Like,
there's brief moments.
Yeah, I mean, you get the actual murders that you see in the trailer.
Yeah.
But other than that,
like
the
cop aggressively just stomping on like a suspect that he's trying.
But where is he stopping, James?
Look, it was his lower section of his body.
We've already said jizz on this podcast.
It could have been his penis and testicle area, Kevin.
Yeah, that is exactly where he's
just classing it up a bit here on Trailer Hitch.
I'm keeping it real on Trailer Hitch.
Keep it real. All street, no sesame.
I did like that tagline.
It's a great tagline. And they got sued by Sesame Street for it.
Really?
Did you not know that?
No.
It got thrown out so quickly. Quickly. Like, it just got thrown out like today or yesterday. The court was just like, look, there's really no grounds to sue them over this. It's like, no one's confused by it. Parents aren't complaining. It's really Sesame Street only irritated about it. Right. So, sorry. You don't get to sue them.
I do think Melissa McCarthy looks fairly engaging in it. I think that she is performing it well. I think it is kind of fun to see her interact with these puppets, and I think she is doing it in a way that is believable within the context of the story.
Yeah.
And again, I like Melissa McCarthy. I'm especially happy for the McCarthy-assance, which is what I'm calling 2018. Because she's in this. She's in that biopic about the writer who's stealing...
Right? The plagiarism writer.
Plagiarism.
Although it wasn't really plagiarism. Reverse plagiarism.
She has that. She has Life of the Party. Like, Life of the Party is something that is sort of within her normal wheelhouse of things she's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, kind of seeing her just put her chips in every basket right now.
Especially, like, looking at this year.
Yeah,
especially.
Is really interesting.
Yeah, I think so, too. I like Joel McHale a lot, too. Don't get much of him in this trailer, but I'm excited to see him in it.
Maya Rudolph is always a
Maya
treasure.
Rudolph was great in this trailer too. She's got the hoity-toity receptionist voice that I find really funny. Overall, I want to see more from this. So it's a need to see more for me.
And it's a need to see more for me too.
Okay.
Like I am intrigued by it. I'm a sucker for high concept stuff.
It's a great concept, right?
Yeah.
It's a great it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but with puppets instead of cartoons.
And it's R.
And it's very R-rated. But, you know, it's kind of the same concept of human beings interacting with this other type of, you know, world or characters, but it's, like, known. It's not like, whoa, you're a cartoon. It's not like that. They're just coexisting, you know? And trying to solve murders. Like, that's really what Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. So, yeah, the concept I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see if it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, like, we would definitely like to see more. So, keep trying to win us Happytime Murders.
That's right.
We're on the fence. You can push us over to the right side.
Maybe some more jizz jokes. We'll do it.
Yeah, no, if you can just do a 3-minute trailer, that's just all jizz jokes.
I don't know how much...
It will push me over the fence.
Yeah, I don't know how big your silly string budget is, but...
Up it.
I'm just saying up it. Up your game.
All right. Well, we're done with Happytime Murders, and James, I just have an easy request.
Okay.
That we talk about a simple favor.
I'm open
ears.
Can
we do that?
I'm open ears.
Can we talk about a simple favor?
I'm waiting for you to ask me the favor.
Yeah, my easy request is we talk about a simple favor.
I feel like we've done this before, Kevin. Just tell me the fucking favor.
Stephanie, I need just a simple favor.
Anything. Et si la terre est sombre, et si la pluie te noie, raconte-moi qu'on puisse trembler ensemble. Et si le jour ne vient pas, dans la nuit t'es perdu.
A Simple Favor is directed by Paul Feig. This is written...
That's the name of the movie,
Kevin. It sure is. Written by Jessica Sharzer. This is starring Blake Lively, Anna Kendrick, Linda Cardellini. Our random shout out is going to go to Daisy Fernando, who plays the signing student. Hey, hope you sign well.
Sign language student?
Maybe. I'm not
or
sure.
she just holds signs to communicate.
Or she is signing something.
Oh,
as a
that's
student.
good too. She's making signatures.
Could be anything.
Like she thinks she's going to be like hot stuff later in life and she's just signing
Excellent.
signatures. We don't know what signing student means, but we're happy you're in it. Good
right.
for you.
So, this is a simple favor. Now, we have brought this into, or we have viewed this in the teaser showroom before.
That's right.
We took a look at the What Happened to Emily teaser, which honestly, to my memory, is my favorite of the trailers that we have seen in the showroom. I think it's an incredibly well done atmospheric trailer. There's a lot of really good Saul Bass style title cards within it. That's like the incredibly stylized and elongated, question mark that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The Polaroid effect that's used in that teaser, I think, is awesome.
I think the music is really, really sexy and mysterious.
Yes.
Which is clearly a good
trailer definitely goes to the beat of that song, too. I just thought it was an incredibly well done teaser.
And also, you never see someone delivering dialogue.
Yeah.
You see people moving, but anytime you hear dialogue, it's during black or a still frame. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
So, my hopes were super high when you sent me the link to this trailer.
Yeah.
And
because we both were like, look, this was the teaser showroom. We don't have to give a rating to this. But we were both like, we're really excited to see more, to see another trailer for this. Like, really excited.
Absolutely.
Now we got it, Kevin.
And now we have it, yeah. Overall, I think that the trailer is good, but it ain't as good as that first teaser.
No.
It would have been like if Prince followed up Purple Rain with one of the albums he did in the 90s that no one remembers. It's like, this is still fine. It's good. It's just... Purple Rain, though, was really good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I feel like the style of the titles is delved into way more. And like the
art?
Yeah.
Like
like the high heel.
The Hitchcockian
the
art style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You didn't like that?
I thought it was fine, but I think that the first one used it incredibly tastefully, and this trailer in particular, it really goes hard on all of that stuff. And while I think it might be visually appealing, I don't really think it tells me too much about the film in question. But yeah, so I think that the titles were used really effectively in the first one and tastefully in the second one. I think a lot of the things that we're getting out of these titles, like the femininity angle and the gun to signify danger, are things that we can be getting off of the trailer. And I think that first one was really good because it just sort of set the tone and atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And now with the second trailer, I'm kind of hoping to get a little bit more into the film in question.
It more or less doubled down on the tone and atmosphere.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like,
we're
already sold on that.
Yeah.
Jinx! Cheers,
Look
Kevin.
at us. It's like we've done this 44 times. And in terms of the content itself, this definitely is going for more of a dramatic tone than the first one. The first one is more so just sleek, sexy thriller. This one is more so considering the anguish of the situation.
Right.
But again, since I don't have a complete grasp of the situation, it's sort of hard for me to feel for that character or the situation in general.
Yeah.
Because we have the general, a woman goes missing. Yeah. We now have some shots of, someone thrashing in a pool and there being a bunch of guns, but the context is missing.
And I get that it's mysterious. It looks like it's supposed to be kind of a Hitchcockian mystery. So I get that you want to kind of keep your cards close to the vest, but at the same time,
at least giving me a taste.
Yeah. I don't know what, because I don't know what else is in this movie, clearly, because you're not showing us.
Right.
But I would have liked, after seeing this, I'm like, okay, I need more. Right? I thought maybe
it's really
more of this would be fine, but it's not.
Because typically when we bring a trailer into the showroom, it's because there isn't enough there for us to give an honest need to see rating or a never need to see rating, because there just simply isn't enough there.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing that I'm running into with this is I feel like the first trailer I could go on about for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And this one, I feel like I could have just abridged in a showroom.
There's not as much more to say about this one because we said it all with the first one, and it was better displayed in the first one.
Yeah, and I think just in general, I think a takeaway we can take from this trailer is, like the effects that are done in After Effects for titles and all that sort of stuff, I think are best applied when they're tastefully done and they service the story or the atmosphere or whatever you're trying to convey with your trailer. And this, as you can see, goes really hard on those things, and then the actual trailer itself kind of gets lost in them. And I guess I'm just making an appeal. Hey, I like what you're doing that first time, but let's maybe cool our jets a little bit.
It's weird because I agree with you. Like I feel the same way, but those art that like Hitchcockian art style stuff was some of my favorite stuff from this trailer.
Well, yeah, and it's because it's the only thing that really stands out.
It's the only thing that's new.
Yeah, and it's not really giving us really anything with the story or the character.
Exactly, right. And I really like the song in the first teaser because it, like I said, it embodied, sexiness and mystique, and it was exotic because it's, this is an American movie and it's a French song. We don't know what they're saying. Unless you're fluent in French, which, bully for you. I don't. It's, I think...
look at you being bilingual.
Yeah, why don't you go to Cannes Film Festival? Yeah.
If someone wants to tell us how to pronounce it, please email us at trailerhitchmailbox.
No, I like saying 3 different pronunciations every time, Kevin.
Good. Okay.
No, but, me as an American listener who doesn't know French, it added a sense of exoticness to it, too.
Yeah.
This one, they kept with the French song, but it was more of like a sad, depressing song with the vibe. Obviously, I don't know the lyrics, but it wasn't sexy.
Sad or instrumentation with like strings and shit.
And I'm like, it just wasn't sleek. It wasn't mysterious. It just sounded like a bummer of a song.
Kind of overwrought.
Yeah, kind of like a weird fit for the visuals. Like I said, the visuals I don't have anything against, but I did want more.
Yeah.
So there you go. It stays solidly. Well, I mean, we didn't give it a rating before, but it's a need to see more for me.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I would give that first teaser a need to see in a heartbeat. And like, it wouldn't surprise me if that cracked my top 5 or 10 or whatever number we decide.
Trailers for the year. Yeah.
I think that it definitely is holding a spot right now in that top echelon. And this is definitely a need to see more for me.
Yeah. Even though we didn't give it... I'm telling you this right now, Kevin. I'm telling the listeners to listen out. Just because we didn't give it a rating, that first teaser, doesn't mean you can't include it in your end of the year.
Oh, yeah. No.
So I'm just saying...
I'm a part owner in this podcast. I can put whatever the fuck I want in my top.
Well, no, now that I said you can do it, you can do it.
Thank you for your permission.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's a need to see more for me. And I loved that first teaser. I'm still apprehensive to give it that one a need to see it, in retrospect.
Just because it doesn't give you anything.
Exactly, yeah, but I do love it.
The style of it is so
if I was giving a top award to the teaser of the year, that would be my front runner.
Sure.
Something that makes you go, what is this? I gotta see more.
Yeah.
That it has the highest spot,
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, because at least with like A Cure for Wellness, that started with an atmospheric trailer, and then the second one was, all right, for real, like here's a little bit more to go off of with this film.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell trailer editors or directors how to do their shit. I do think that is a very nice way to do it, to just kind of give like, okay, here's just a few specks of lettuce. And it's like, what's this? It's like, it's to gear you up for the fucking salad, buddy. And like, man, you are really banking on me to get a lot out of these few pieces of lettuce. And then you eat those, and then you're like, that's really good, and I want a little bit more.
Right.
And on the second trailer, you bring out more of that fucking salad. Like, you give me the salad, and then the main course is the goddamn movie. And right now, you only brought out a few more pieces of lettuce. And I feel like I'm being strung along here. I just like the salad, please. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner.
Yeah, I can tell you're really focusing on food here, Kevin.
Yeah. We're done talking about an appetizer of a teaser.
Right.
Let's get into the after dinner section of this
Mint.
podcast. We
made the joke already, but you know what?
I was trying to find a different way to phrase it.
No,
I'm like, nah, the
don't
first
do
one
it.
is really...
It's so good of a joke, we'll use it twice.
Yeah, this is the after dinner peppermint of the podcast. We're going to be talking about the trailer Peppermint.
Very good.
5 years ago, Riley North just disappeared. Completely off the grid.
So she spends the last 5 years doing what?
Training.
Well, that's new.
You honestly think Riley North did this?
Today's the 5-year anniversary of her family's murder. She's back.
Peppermint. It's the Fresh Maker and the Death Bringer. This is starring Jennifer Garner, John Ortiz, Method Man. Our random shout out is going to go to Samantha Edelstein, who plays Scoop Jockey. Hey, Samantha, maybe we'll see you scooping soon.
She the one scooping ice cream, probably, right?
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I guess
it's gotta
so.
be. It's gotta be.
You'd hope
Scoop Jockey, though. That's an interesting career title.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Going on. All right. So the trailer starts. We have Jennifer Gardner with her family at a carnival, and she's talking to her young girl, telling her that she has love in her heart, snow in her eyes, peppermint in her blood.
Mm-hmm.
All is well, all is good. Now, on top of having love in her heart, snow in her eyes, and peppermint in her blood, now the young girl also has bullets in her body because a cartel member comes up and just starts fucking laying waste.
Right,
and,
yeah.
Jennifer Gardner comes out of a coma. Her husband and daughter have been killed. And she's being pressured to not put the 3 cartel members responsible in prison. So she's like, fuck that. She points out all 3 of them, and they're able to get away with the crime. They go to court. Judge is like, but there's no rule in the book that says you can't gun down 2 innocent people. That's not what it is. But effectively,
it seems the lawyers are in on it, the cops are in on it, the judge is in on it.
Yeah, there's there's some scheming going on. So Jennifer Gardner fucks off for about 4 years. Comes back, she's now an unstoppable killing machine. And she's just looking for justice. And we get a lot of action shots. We had Jennifer Gardner laying waste to some folk with a machine gun. And we get, like, the vigilante aspect of it. And, you know, on social media, she's known as a hero. But she is not a hero. She's a multi-murderer. And that's our trailer.
Yeah.
So, out the gate, I'm going to say, and just because I ended on that note, I do want to bring up, I don't really care for the vigilante aspect of this and the whole, you know, oh, but they're a saint on social media. That sort of stuff I feel like is kind of a well-worn trope in the revenge genre.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't really think we're getting that much new out of it, and especially now, in 2018, regardless of what side of the debate you're on, there is a pretty big debate about violence and the notion of concealed and carry, and it's supposed to stop the bad guys and yada yada. And it's like, if we're not going to touch on this debate, to still act like, you know, everything is an 80s or 90s action movie when you didn't have to think about this and have to be confronted about this all the time. I don't know, like that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Everything else, I'm honestly super into with this trailer. And even though I am trying to be a little bit more self-conscious about, you know, like the portrayal of violence and stuff like that, I mean, I do love me a good 80s, 90s action movie.
Yeah.
And I do think that this is a little, I'm going to call it goth, like, or emo. Emo is a really good word for it. Like, it's very, you know, like, sorrow and, like, she's got her fucking hood up and, like, you know, looks all moody and shit, and she's sad about her dead family. Very emo, but, like, the actual action aspect of it, because we don't know anything about Jennifer Gardner, I'd like to think that she just works in ads or sales or something. Like, she's not, like, a former cop or anything.
Right.
And if they make her a former cop, I'm telling you right now, folks, they should change it. They should go into the finished movie and fucking change it. Because if she's just, like, an ad person, just like some menial job.
Yeah.
And then she turns into this unstoppable killing machine. That's awesome.
You know what she should be? A makeover artist.
Yeah, I guess.
Completely changing people.
Queer eye for the straight guy, except instead of...
Into a murdering machine.
Yeah, instead of turning your home into a somewhat pleasing place to be, they're turning you into a killer. Cool. I'd be in. And so, yeah, I think there is this inherent ridiculousness that is present throughout the trailer. And I do think, to a degree, the film is sort of in on the joke, too. I think, like, the shot of the three dudes hanging upside down in the Ferris wheel. Again, it's emo as shit, but, like, it made me giggle. Like, it's just like, oh, God, like, this looks like it's just going to be over the top as shit. And I really hope that, because to me the trailer seems to be battling between we're going over the top action, like classic 80s, 90s, and there's also this like, but it's 2018 and we have to be sad about everything now. Like there's those two things combating each other. I'm kind of pulling for and really appreciating the over-the-topness aspect of it. I like the stuff that I like about this so much that like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to go along for the ride as of right now. But how about you?
Yeah.
Because you have swayed me before, and you've been largely silent. So, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I agree with you, like, you the basic, brushstrokes of your points. I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. General brushstroke for me, I enjoyed this. Mm-hmm. Why did this work for me, but Death Wish didn't? I'm curious. Like, why do you think that is? I can't really put my finger on why I watched the trailer for Death Wish and went, this looks atrocious, and it makes me feel weird about this subject. This is almost the same subject, and I think I enjoyed myself watching it, with the exception of, they started talking about people thinking she's like an angel or that kind of, Boondock Saints syndrome type of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good reference
point. I really can't place why this one works for me but Death Wish didn't, because I could tell early on, even before they started talking about the general public's opinion, that it's the same thing as Death Wish.
Yeah.
And I knew Death Wish I wasn't on board with, but I know this one I enjoyed. Do you have a reason? Because I don't.
I think for me, they do a little bit more to flesh out the villains in this than they do with Death Wish. Death Wish is just, it's bad guys.
I guess it's a home invasion, right?
Yeah,
or
it's a home invasion that ends up killing that guy's family,
right,
which then spurs him to take a bite out of crime.
Yeah.
And with Jennifer Garner, though she does still have the, family dead, now she's just out for vengeance, there is a little bit more direction to her than there is with Bruce Willis's character and the Death Wish remake of the trailer that we saw.
Yeah.
They do a little bit more to personify not just the cartel, but the cops who are in place to make sure that everything with the cartels runs smoothly. And we're going to try and bribe you. And so I think it gives a little bit more of a direction to her anger, and I think does a little bit, and it's fucked up to say more to justify her anger, but like it's not just her family is brutally murdered, it's also the fact that someone attempts to bribe her to keep her mouth shut about her family dying, and it's also her taking it to the courts and then that failing, even though like she is convinced those are the three guys.
Yeah.
And specifically them trying to gaslight her. That wasn't what you saw. It was like a repeated mantra throughout that opening. And I was sort of upset on behalf of Jennifer Garner. And it did provide a little bit more catharsis when she was like, all right, well, I'm going to disappear for a few years and then I'm just going to murder everything. And
You're right.
Good for her.
I think that's the key. I think Death Wish, it was Bruce Willis talked to the detective, and it was clear the police were not effective in solving this murder. That's not enough, I think, to get on board with a guy just murdering people in a city.
Yeah, and again,
I think seeing Jennifer Garner get following the system, going through the motions, and getting screwed over at every turn for reasons outside of her understanding, that I think you're right. I think that's enough to make me go, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. So so that was kind of my first thing. Second thing, this is Punisher. It is Punisher. So, like, with the exception of she clearly might not be ex-military. Like, she clearly takes 5 years off to train because she's not ex-military. But everything else just screams Punisher to me. It's taking down crime organizations, not just, like, a specific revenge for one bad guy. Yeah. It's like she's taking everyone down. It looks like the people hanging from the Ferris wheel might be the beginning of her rampage.
Yeah.
And those are the specific people who killed her family, probably. So, like, she is not out just for, like, the revenge aspect. She's the Punisher.
Right.
This is me now. I am this person, and I'm going to wipe out crime. So I liked that aspect of it. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seeing Jennifer Garner absolutely kick ass is a lot of fun again.
It really is. Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed myself with this. I think I agree with you though. The social aspect of what is social media? What does the public think of her? Oh, they think she's a saint, and this is a vigilante, and this is good, and they all like her. I don't need the movie to tell me what the general public is on her side, because I'm already on her side.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's this weird, like, but we're trying to call attention to the fact that we like her, but trying to keep in mind that, like, she is ultimately a murderer for doing this. And it's like, well, I know that. Like,
yes.
I do think that on top of kind of cluelessly, touching on that debate, it's also trying to tell me as a viewer what to think or feel about the particular subject.
Which I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like movies telling me how to feel.
I can fucking think.
I feel on my own.
Yeah, God damn it.
I feel on my own.
So anyway, what would you rate this trailer? Because I can't think for myself.
I'm giving this a really high need to see more.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was super on board with it like the whole way through, and then it really hit it home that it wanted you to know in this trailer everyone in the community's on board with her, and they're really rooting for it. Like, it takes a good 30 seconds to focus on the vigilante aspect that everyone's okay with.
Oh, see, I didn't think it was that long.
Maybe it wasn't. I'm being hyperbolic probably, but it was more than just one line of dialogue. It was like 3 lines of dialogue in a row that were
shots, like someone makes a graffiti mural based off.
Yeah, it was like reiterating that point more than I needed it to. Me needing it to do it 0 times.
Yeah, sure.
So that kind of hindered it down a little bit for me.
Yeah, I will give this a very low need to see.
Excellent. Very cool.
Yeah. I think that the positives ultimately outweigh the negatives for me.
Okay.
I would agree. It's so cool to see Jennifer Garner just like
kick ass.
Just becoming a killing machine.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's awesome. All right, give me the context though. Again, we broke down why we think there's a little bit more here than the Death Wish remake that just came out this year. And again, like, I'm totally on your side, obviously, about the vigilante aspect or, like, that theme that's being woven in. But I'm having too much fun to let it completely dampen this for me.
It really hit the brakes for me at that point. Like, I was having fun, and it brought it to an abrupt stop for me. And I was just like, why are we focusing on this in this trailer?
I didn't slam the brakes more, so it was like I was going 70, now I'm like coasting at like 45.
You saw a cop, you're like, I'm going to slow it down a little bit,
okay,
but I'm going to keep going where I'm going.
Yeah,
they're not going to stop me.
Cool. Well, that is it for
That's all I got, Kevin.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for those listening. Feel free to email us at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com if you have thoughts, if you have trailers you'd like us to take a look at, if you'd like us to reconsider anything, like to add any context, fucking feel free to do so. You can also hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up on Twitter at TrailerHitchPod.
And Instagram. We're on Instagram.
Oh, and on our Instagram.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You can find us on WordPress as well. You can then find them in iTunes, which, speaking of, if you can rate and subscribe, that would be amazing.
Those are good things. We like those things.
Once again, thank you to Rachel for the art that she did for us. Our thumbnail looks dope as fuck. We would also like to thank Danny Schmitz at Lost in a Name fame for the really great intro we have. We'd like to shout out Casey Clowers for the awesome outro, which you will be hearing momentarily, unless James has something to add right now.
No.
All right, cool. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
You can't mend holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
And really, the things that we're gleaning out of it, it's like, femininity and danger. And again, I think that first one did a really good
I'm
job.
so sorry. My dog is just drinking up so much water, and I was like, it'll pass, and she's still going.
No,
I don't know if the mic can pick it up or not.
I am glad she's quenching her thirst.
Sure. I'm so sorry I laughed during it. It's an excellent delivery, Kevin. Continue.